The sound of breaking glass sticks with you. It's not just noise, it's the moment your peace shatters. For me, it was the window of my brand new car, a $60,000 dream I'd worked 20 years to afford. One second I was unpacking boxes in front of my new house thinking I'd finally made it, and the next I was staring at a police officer swinging a bat through my passenger window like I'd stolen the thing. The sound hit me before the fear did, sharp and cold, like the world had just decided I didn't belong here. Officer Dean Mercer stood over the car bat on his shoulder, that grin people wear when they know no one's going to stop them. His partner, a young kid named Evans, looked like he wanted to vanish right there. Mercer leaned in through the shattered glass, eyes narrowed. "License and registration," he said, voice slow and dripping with superiority. I stayed calm, hands on the wheel. "Officer, I just moved in," I said. "That's my house right there. I'm legally parked." He smirked. "You sure about that? Because your existence in this neighborhood is my probable cause." That line still burns in my head. I told him, "You're making a serious mistake." He laughed, raised the bat again, then smashed the mirror just because he could. And right then, something in me shifted. I'd faced war zones that made hell look polite, but I never expected to meet that kind of hate in my own driveway. He pulled me out of the car, slammed me on the hood cuffs, biting my wrists. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains, pretending they didn't see. Nobody wanted to cross the local legend with a badge. Evans muttered something about procedure, but Mercer barked him quiet. "Assaulting an officer," he said as he dragged me to the patrol car. "Resisting arrest." I didn't resist, not even a word. He needed me angry. I wasn't going to give him that. On the ride to the station, he bragged about teaching respect, throwing around words that didn't belong in any law book. You know what I mean, the kind that stain the air. The station looked like every small-town bunker pretending to be justice. He dumped my stuff on a table, started rifling through it like he owned me. When he opened my wallet, he froze. He pulled out a black leather badge case and stared confused. Then the light caught the gold eagle. Federal Bureau of Investigation. His smirk died on the spot. "What the hell is this?" he said. "Something you bought online." "That's my identification," I told him. "Special Agent Marcus Thorne, FBI." His eyes darted between the badge and my face, and I saw the panic flicker. "But pride's a hell of a drug." He slammed the badge shut and said, "Fake. Impersonating a federal officer. Add that to the list." Then he shoved me into a holding cell so hard my shoulder hit the wall. He walked off laughing, but I could tell that laugh had cracks in it. A while later, the chief walked in, Frank Wallace. The man looked like a politician more than a cop. Silver hair, perfect suit, cleaner than church on Sunday. He smiled through the bars. "We seem to have a misunderstanding," he said. "My officer can get enthusiastic. Let's fix this quietly. We'll repair your window, call it a day." I asked, "And what about the assault, the illegal arrest?" He waved a hand. "Let's not get dramatic, Agent. Reports disappear. Systems can work for us if we're smart." That's when I told him, "You're not after justice. You're after control." His face hardened. "Justice is perspective," he said. "I run this town, and I won't have it torn apart because one of my officers had a bad day and you got your feelings hurt. You can be part of this, or a problem." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "And I'm good at solving problems." Then he left me there, cold steel between us and the truth sinking in. This wasn't about one bad cop. It was an entire machine. They gave me one phone call. I called my director, Robert Adams. I told him what happened, that I'd been profiled, attacked, and detained. He sighed like I was a paperwork issue. "Do you know what this looks like?" he said. "An FBI agent in a holding cell." "The optics are a nightmare." I said, "Sir, the chief is corrupt." He offered a cover-up, and he said, "Then maybe you should have taken the deal." That's when I realized the cavalry wasn't coming. The system I'd served my whole life just turned its back. Hours passed before someone else appeared. A woman with tired eyes and a file under her arm. "Mr. Thorne, I'm Sarah Jenkins, court-appointed counsel," she said. I laughed bitterly. "I don't need a lawyer. Charges are being dropped." She leaned closer to the bars. "That's what they want you to think. They'll let you go, then destroy you later. I've seen it before." I studied her, trying to read the angle, but her voice trembled with something real anger. "I've been collecting proof for 2 years," she whispered. "Complaints, buried evidence, people too scared to talk. But I never had someone who could fight back. Until you." She slipped me a thin file through the bars. Inside was Mercer's report, a masterpiece of lies. At the back, a phone number. "That's Ben Carter," she said. "Reporter. He's got the money trail." Then she smiled, small but fierce. "Welcome to the resistance." That night I made the call from the corner of my cell, whispering into a borrowed phone. "Ben Carter," I said. He chuckled. About time someone on the inside woke up. The chief's running a protection racket, calls it the Merchant Safety Initiative. Local businesses pay for protection or get hit with code violations, robberies, you name it. The money disappears offshore. I've got breadcrumbs but no access. "I can get you that," I said. "I have a contact in financial crimes." "Then we've got something," he said. "You, me, and your lawyer, 3 against an empire." We added one more ally, Judge Peterson, a retired judge who'd been forced out for exposing crooked arrests. He had boxes of case files showing planted evidence and fake warrants. The pieces were all there. Victim's paper trail motive, we just needed proof that tied Wallace's voice to the crimes. We found it. Sarah discovered Wallace took his luxury sedan to the same car detailer every Friday. The owner was one of the merchants paying protection money, terrified but desperate to stop. Ben convinced him to leave the back door unlocked for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, my tech partner in DC, Maya, sent a transmitter the size of a shirt button. Ben disguised himself as a utility worker and slipped it under the dashboard. Then we waited. That Friday, the trap snapped shut. Wallace drove out of the shop, phone to his ear. The recorder caught everything. First, his call with Director Adams. "Frank Adams said I got a tip about corruption in your department. Something called the Merchant Safety Initiative." Wallace laughed. "Just a misunderstanding, Robert. I'll handle it." "You'd better," Adams said. "And keep your man Dean under control." When the line went dead, Wallace muttered, "Don't worry about Dean. I'm handling him too." Then he called Mercer. "Meet me at the quarry," he said. Ben, Sarah, and I listened from a safe line. The wind on the recording was clear, and so was every damn word. "You idiot," Wallace shouted. "Because of you, the feds are sniffing around. We clean up our messes, starting with that reporter and the judge. And Thorne, he's being transferred tonight. Make sure he doesn't arrive." It was a death order disguised as police work. I called Sarah right away. "They're moving now. Get to Ben and the judge." She didn't hesitate. That night, Ben's apartment went up in flames, a Molotov through the window, but he got out alive, clutching his files. Across town, 2 masked men broke into the judge's home. But the judge's sons, both Marines, were waiting. The intruders ended up zip-tied on the rug. Meanwhile, 2 new deputies showed up at my cell. "Transfer time," one said. "Midnight, no paperwork." My instincts screamed. I played along, wrists cuffed in front, and as we stepped outside, I dropped to one knee like I tripped. When one bent to grab me, I swung the cuffs up under his jaw. The other reached for his gun, but I slammed him into the wall, knocked him cold, took his keys, and drove their transport van right out of the lot before the alarms hit. Yeah, that happened. I called Maya. "Send the recording to every outlet and to Assistant U.S. Attorney Reynolds," I said. "She's clean." "Malcolm, they'll kill you," she said. "Then they'll do it on live TV," I told her. Then I called 911 anonymously. "There's an active shooter situation at Ridgeway Police Department," I said. "Multiple officers involved, federal intervention required." Then I tossed the phone out the window and floored it. When I got there, the station was chaos. Flashing lights shouting, half the department running around like ants. Wallace and Mercer burst out the front doors, guns raised, eyes full of hate. "He's here," Wallace shouted. "Take him down!" Before anyone could move, the station monitors flickered to life, and there it was, the recording. "You idiot. He's a federal agent you assaulted in broad daylight." Every cop froze, the whole town's sins echoing through their own speakers. And then came the sirens, the real ones. State police, federal cars, a helicopter cutting through the night. Out stepped Agent Jessica Riley, tactical vest on, and Assistant U.S. Attorney Reynolds right behind her. Riley lifted the bullhorn. "Frank Wallace, Dean Mercer, you are under arrest for conspiracy, obstruction, and attempted murder of a federal officer. Drop your weapons now." Wallace stared, breathing heavy, his own words still playing on the monitors. "You ruined everything," he screamed, raising his gun at me. One shot cracked from Riley's rifle sent his weapon spinning away. Mercer dropped to his knees, crying. It was over, just like that. By morning, the town looked different. News vans lined the streets. Wallace, Mercer, even a few city council members were in cuffs. Director Adams got suspended once his call leaked. Justice Department agents took over the precinct. Officers started confessing left and right. The protection racket, the planted evidence, all of it spilled out. Victims came forward. An old man whose son was rotting in prison for a planted drug charge. A baker who lost her business after refusing to pay safety fees. Years of fear started turning into something new: relief. Judge Peterson got reinstated leading the cleanup. Sarah ran for mayor on transparency and reform, and she won by a landslide. Ben turned his investigation into a national story, won awards, started a nonprofit for local journalism. And me? I stayed. Fixed my car window, though I kept one small crack as a reminder. The same neighbors who watched me get cuffed now came by with pies and awkward smiles. One woman said, "I saw what happened. I was too scared. I told her I don't blame you." He made everyone scared. But fear doesn't last forever. Now, when I sit on my porch at sunset watching kids ride bikes down the same street where I was arrested, I think about that day. I came looking for peace and found a war. But maybe that's how peace is earned, one stand at a time. Justice isn't some gift from above. It's something you build, protect, and when it breaks, you rebuild stronger. So tell me, what would you have done? Walked away or fought back? Do you think I was right to confront them, or should I have taken the deal and disappeared? Drop your thoughts in the comments, tell me your story. Because maybe justice starts with just one person who refuses to stay silent.